Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, hello everyone. This is Jim Lawyer here with the OhioRAAM Show. We're coming to you on a special edition Tuesday night. Hey Lee, how's it going?
Going well, and the good news is no one has to pay any extra for this show. It's a bonus.
Exactly.
And we want to thank our time stations here in Ohio, the Race Across America time stations, and all the people that work at them. Time Station 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, 43 in Chillicothe. I'm racing through there because we want to get on with tonight's show.
Definitely.
Quick. And yeah, this is a great extra show tonight.
Exactly. We do want to thank our partners real quick. Race Across America, again, thank you for letting us use your name and logo and being part of this great adventure. The Great Spiegel Bikes and Infinity Seats, as well as our towns we live in for a week, Oxford, Blanchester, and Chillicothe, and as well as the 10 Buck Bike Club. And that's going to be our prize tonight at the end of the show if you comment or ask a question.
Yeah, make a comment, ask a question. If you can't think of anything you want to comment, just post on Facebook or YouTube where you're at. I'm in Timbuktu or
there you
wherever.
go.
And put your name in the hopper.
Definitely.
Prize. Oh, and I do want to say that Texas Hell Week's going on right now, Jim.
Yes, definitely.
And I think if all goes according to plan, we're going to have a report on Texas Hell Week from Sandy Earle, the Red Pearl.
Awesome.
After this is all over, she's promised me one, and she does a very good job with reports, so we'll get her in there. And, you know, we can't let this time pass by without once again talking about this coming Sunday and our midwifing, the birth of ultracycling in Africa. The OhioRAAM Show is on top of this, are we not?
Hello everyone, my name is Salome Kanini from Machakos County. Currently I'm based in Nairobi town and that is in Kenya. I am the founder of Majashela Cycling Club here in Nairobi, and we are locally known as Dada Rides Racing Team. This year I'm planning to do the first World Ultra Cycling Association record here in Africa. I'll attempt this record later this summer. Thank you to OhioRAAM Show for helping me make contact with UCAP and guide us on. I'll be on the OhioRAAM Show next Sunday, April 3rd, and on Thursday the show will publish broadcast time in part of your world. Please join me on the show. I hope to answer all your questions about my cycling, about cycling in Kenya, and my attempts in the challenge. See you then. Thank you very much.
Not on there yet. Thanks, Sally, and thank you so much for being
definitely
a part of our show and helping us be a part of the launch. You'd show up. Hey, give us take a little time and make a comment. And how is it going down in Texas Hell Week and what's happening down there? Okay. Just post something in there. And lo and behold, none other than April Regal shows up here.
Yeah, she's trying to get her headphones on real quick.
Trying to get set up here.
Yep.
Well, with that, I'm going to start out here with the person who was number one in the 100 mile, Jessica Vanderbrook. Jessica, how are you today?
Hi, Jessica.
Very, very good. Thank you. Happy to be here.
And number two is Carolyn.
How you doing?
And welcome, April. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, April, that was your first 100-mile race, and we'll want to be hearing from you. And you may have some things you want to chat with Carolyn and Jessica about. I only have one question before I turn it over to everybody else. and that is you both turned in the same time, 4:20:46. Was that a sprint finish, or did you know what each other what you were
was.
doing?
I remember. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
No, I know what
We came in with the
happened.
whole group together.
I think you were, if you don't mind me stepping in here,
Oh,
but
no, go ahead.
I remember exactly what happened. So I have a feeling that there was like two packs. There was like a lead pack,
Right.
and then there was like a second pack.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe you were with the lead pack.
Right.
And I think I was with the second pack. And I think we rolled up on you and another. Were you on a TT bike?
Yeah, I was on a TT bike, and I was
Okay,
with
I was
one
on
of my
I was on
teammates.
okay, right. So I was on a road bike with some of my teammates, and we were with some other people who were doing the 12-hour.
Right. Yeah.
But we didn't know. That's the hard thing about Sebring. You don't know who's doing what.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, okay, like, you don't know who your competition is. But so I think it was like mile 90. I think
Yeah.
my
It was about
pack.
mile 90. Yeah.
Oh, so you know what happened. You know the story.
Yeah.
So then,
No, I just don't
you
remember
jumped
the
in.
very end.
Yep.
Yeah, so you jumped. So we caught you and your friend,
Right.
and then you came into our group.
Right.
And then we finished off the last 10 miles, and then I think you were ahead of me, and I was like, all right, I don't know who these girls are, what they're doing, but I'm hauling ass.
There you go.
And I came around the corner, and then I think we both like sprinted in,
Yeah.
and so
you know,
we had the same time.
Yeah, it was really funny because I was like watching Adam Ashwell, who I knew
Yep.
was doing the 12-hour, and he's sprinting, and then Mark is sprinting because he was only doing the century. That was the guy who I was riding with, and so I'm like, well, I should probably sprint too, and so, but it was sort of I really assumed you were in the 12-hour. I assumed everybody there was in the 12-hour except for me.
I think no. So I think half of the group was 12-hour, and half of the group was the century.
Yeah.
I think all of those girls that I was with were 12-hour. I think I was the only female that was century in that group, and then my brother and another friend of ours, male, were doing the century. And we were actually trying to help my sister-in-law, who was doing the 12-hour. She was trying to make the record. And so our mission was really for her.
Okay.
And to like help her get that first 100 done quickly. And then she was on her own.
Right.
And then I just was like, yeah, I'll just hang on for as long as I can. I didn't even know if I could. I was actually sick the week before. So I was like, I didn't even know what I could do. And so, so I was just like, all right. I wasn't even anticipating anything. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to hang on and have fun.
Well, that's basically what I came down to do. We, since I live in Florida, it's not that, it's about 4 hours away to get down there. I live up in Gainesville. And so there were two of our teammates who were in the front group, and Mark and I were trying to help them. They were in the 12-hour, and so we were trying to help them get back as fast as we could. And what happened is we came around the turnaround point. Mark was ahead of me, and there was a loose bottle, and he hit it and went down. And so but he was immediately sort of back up again. And so I went around him, but then I lost contact with that front group. And so I'm like, all right, well, he'll just catch up to me in a few minutes. And so I was, so I went on, and then like I'm going and I'm all by myself, and I'm like, this sucks because I'm all by myself. And I'm like, where is he? Why isn't he
anybody?
Because he's like way faster than I am. And so he comes up on me, and then he's like his elbow's all bloody, and he's like he got pretty, you know, scraped up in that fall. And so he's like, all right, well, I think we can do it. And he's like, do you think we're going to be able to stay ahead of the other group? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm willing to try. But he was having trouble getting down in aero because he couldn't put his elbow on the pads. So, you know, he definitely, I think it took a toll on him to have that fall. And we really pushed it and tried to keep ahead of the group. And he's like, you know, this is going to suck if they catch us at like 95 miles.
I think that's when we got you too, right?
You guys, I know. You guys got us, I think, right. You were right. It was right about 90. And then we rode in together. And then, like I said, like all these people were sprinting. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I should sprint too. And I have no sprint. Like, you know, I do Trainer Road, and you look at all the things on they give you your values for sweet spot and threshold and all this stuff. Sprint is always at like 0. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we came around that corner. I'm like, all right, I don't know who's got what, but I feel like I'm in a good spot, so I'm just gonna try.
That's perfect. That's
awesome. Yes, definitely.
Well,
what did you guys learn from doing Sebring this year? Anything thought-provoking, or was it just another race for you guys, or another fun ride?
I can go ahead. One thing that I learned is to actually eat a little less. One of the problems that I've had, especially with the really long races, is I tend to get the gut rot. And Jill, who is Joe Barr's partner, and she's also a dietitian, said, you know, well, you know, focus on not taking in quite as much. You just need to sort of keep your calories as level as possible, but don't take in too much at one time. And so I actually backed off on some, and it was the best that I've ever felt after a race.
Awesome.
You know, it felt great. I was able to help out all afternoon with my teammates, and then get up early in the morning and go help her and Mark with Joe at the crack of dawn.
Yep.
Literally. Earlier than that.
Definitely.
Well, first I didn't realize how fast everybody was going to start off. I was like, what the hell? And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, because we were like a team of 5, and what is it? Tim Valencia, he won. I think he got the record for the century. He was in the Racer's Edge kit, but he took off, and a bunch of people took off, and I was like, what the heck? And I was saying to my one friend, I'm like, if this is the plan, then I'm not holding on. Sorry, guys. But then it settled down for a second, and I was like, oh, thank God. But I didn't realize how many turns there were. I realized I have to work on turns, because I was getting dropped literally every turn, and then I had to like speed up and catch up.
Yeah.
We don't have many turns in South Florida. It's A1A.
Straight. There you go.
Yeah, that's how it is here too.
I need to work on I'm down in Boca, and there's no turns, and so it was kind of a joke. Me and Helen, I kept falling off, and our friend, like our buddies, kept looking back like where you at? like come on. And it was like every turn we did the same thing, and they're like, what are you doing? And we're just like, we don't know. Gonna work on the turns.
I learned a new trick when I just started mountain biking, so I'm taking lessons. And one of the things the guy who is teaching me said is, you know, you need to downshift so you're in an easier gear as you go around the turn, because you lose speed as you go around the turn. So you need to be able to spin. And that was, you know, I never took any lessons with road biking. I did, I think, the very first, you know, time, but that was certainly not something that they were teaching us back then. And then I've never taken, you know, I just learned by doing. And I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me this before? It's amazing how much faster you go around corners.
Yeah, lights. You got to downshift, because when you're on a red light and you're in a hard gear, and they all take off, you're like,
and you're grinding it.
You're like,
Definitely.
oh shit, I didn't get in that lower gear.
Right.
An easy gear to get going. That's very
How did
true.
you guys like riding on the track itself?
Oh, it was cool. Except that I didn't really get to ride like in the dark.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if I think I would have appreciated it more if it was, in the daytime. Doing the century, you don't really get to appreciate. I don't think the track is
Right.
much.
Yeah.
I'm like, what lap am I on? I know I have to do 3. Is this 2? Like, you don't realize
Yeah.
like where you're at.
Yeah, April did actually extra lap.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yep.
Like, I'm like trying to
Yeah.
I'm like, hopefully somebody's paying attention.
Basically, yeah. This is my 4th time that I've done this race.
Mhm.
I mean, I've done 12 hours every time before. So I was ready for the high speed at the beginning. Like I
Right.
knew it was gonna, Marco was gonna shoot off the front, and we were
Yep.
just gonna be gone. And so I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this. And then, then I was also ready for the turns on the track. Like I know the track now really well. I've done it, ridden around it, so I know each turn and where to hit it and where it's really rough. And so I really, really enjoy riding on the track. I don't think I would enjoy riding on it all night long. I don't think I'm going to be doing the 12-hour, but it's really fun. And it's so much fun if you do the 12-hour to come back in and get on the track. And it's like, it's fun. It's a relief. You've been going around that 11-mile loop where you're just like, where is everybody? And you get back on the track and there they all are. So it's I had a lot of fun on it, and I would highly recommend it, to anybody who wants to come down and do something that's really an interesting thing to do. Is to ride on that racetrack. It's a neat thing to do.
It's definitely cool for sure. I did many
Carolyn,
few years
you're a
back.
part of that Rocco Brothers team. What is it?
The RRT for G.
Yeah.
I never could remember all that.
It's the Rocco Brothers and Team for Gone, so it's shortened to RRT for G.
Rocco Brothers and Team for Gone. Maybe I can remember that eventually. You had a team as well, Jessica, or just a group?
Yeah, we're like a small group of friends. There's probably 20 of us, and we all would meet at the same place off of Palmetto and Boca at 7-Eleven, and we became Team Loiter because after our rides on Saturday, we would all hang out and have a couple beers with lawn chairs, and like beach chairs and stuff at the local 7-Eleven. And so we created this logo that kind of mimicked that and the colors, and we became Team Loiter and just hang around randomly.
That's awesome.
Here. And it's really just a group of friends that ride hard and drink hard after. It's kind of fun.
Well, April, have you got a question to these ladies, or maybe they'd like to ask you a question since it was your first time out?
Well, really, I wasn't even going down to race. I was going down to help Team Chevington on his 12 or 24-hour race.
12, yeah.
And at the night before, I decided to try to go out on a race and just do the century
Yep.
and just see how well I could do. And I was just going out and having a good time and just wanting to ride. And I did fairly decent for not riding as much as what I had been, and I didn't get a whole lot of sleep the 2 nights before, and I didn't eat good. But the other thing I was really worried about was my seat. But really that wasn't the problem. My legs ended up being the problem. I just guess I was real dehydrated, and I just about had to quit. And what was his name?
John Hoopengardner?
John Hoopengardner.
Yeah.
He took me in. That's one good thing about cyclists, ultra cyclists. Anybody will help you. If you kind of get in trouble or need somebody or need something.
Yeah.
He said that he would get me some Gatorade, and we ended up stopping at the rest stop, and they had Gatorade, and I drank some there and ate a banana and peanut butter, and then I did much better. But I was on a infinity seat, and if I wouldn't have been on that infinity seat, there's no way that I would have really kind of made it, because I would have been so sore, because I've not really been, I was just going down to help. I had no idea I was going to get on a bike and ride a Century. So
You didn't get
twisted
the
her
saddle
arm.
time?
No, she rides every night on Zwift, but she didn't have any long races in or rides up to that point this year.
yeah.
So.
I bet, like I said, I just wanted to get on there and ride and have fun.
Do you think you'll come back and do it next year?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I think I will. Yes, it was nice.
It's a great race. It's a
Yes.
really nice race, and it's nice to have something to look forward to in February.
Definitely.
Right, yeah. And still, even with it being a race, there was a lot of ultracyclists that was really, really nice and willing to help you. So you kind of stick together.
Oh, cyclists are a family, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all look out for each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think I said this at the beginning, but the time that you two ladies turned in was 4 hours, 20 minutes, and 46 seconds on 100 miles. I'm pretty sure, Jim, I've never done 100 miles in that length of time.
Me neither.
Maybe
Sure about that.
in a car, maybe.
I
can't take all the credit. I definitely had a little help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't out
me
there
too.
by myself, you know.
Well,
my buddy Kip did it in 4:05, and you know, I'm like, oh, he only had me by 15 minutes, but he also did it solo. So
Yep. Definitely does help when you got the group.
Yeah, for sure.
We were talking about, the Major Taylor Club that I rode with the Columbus Club here the very first year they did Tazer, Tour of the Silver Valley. It's 100 and 100. And they gave me some help, I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
I tagged along with that team for quite a few miles until Jim, when you're on a pace line and you hear the gears shifting and you pray they're not shifting to a higher gear.
Yep.
and you find out they are.
And you see ya.
Okay.
There you go. Then you're by yourself again.
Yep, I'm by myself again. But
there was definitely a point at the end that I was like praying. I was like, oh my God, just hold on, we're almost there. I was like, there was I don't even know, there was some girl in the front she pulled for a while.
Yeah, I think that was Carol.
Me. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, wearing the same kit that we had on, that Mark and I had on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were Spanish. They were from Miami.
Oh, okay.
Those two girls.
Oh, then that wasn't Carol.
Carol lives just north of me. We actually saw her on the road last Saturday. We did in the 90s. We rode to Jupiter, and we saw her up in Jupiter, up in like Juneau area.
Oh, awesome.
She rode by us, and we like gave her like a hello. But no, it's the two girls from Miami. It was one of those girls that jumped in, and she was pulling hard. Were you on then? Were you on at that point when she was pulling?
I don't remember. Actually, once you guys caught up to me, I was really thankful, because it was, of course, got much easier when it wasn't Mark and I. So I actually had the opposite experience that you did, where I was just like, oh, thank God, I don't have to pull anymore.
So it must have been after that, because she pulled and we were all like dying. And then at the end, I said to my friends, I was like, okay, was I the only one? They were like, no. We were. Actually, I have a funny story. One of our guy friends, this guy Jason, like mile 97, he had to pull off and go to Subway. He like pulled the car, he went to Subway, fell apart. The lady's like, are you all right? He's like, oh. He's like, I don't know. And she's like, you want ice? He's like, yeah, I'll take some ice. He like took some ice. He was like a mess. And then I think somebody else fell off, but I think it was from that girl pulling from Miami.
That's crazy.
That's
yeah, he's like, I was in a bad moment because I had to go to Subway. I had to go to Subway.
Oh man, I can't imagine that.
No.
And so close,
So close. Yeah, it was like mile 97.
Yep.
Because everybody's like, so wait, you beat your brother and Jason? I'm like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I turned around and they were gone. It's like I was at Subway. It was kind of like the ongoing joke.
That's awesome.
I know my brother goes, well, once I saw Jason drop, that was like, I'm okay to drop. And me and Helena went through. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Do you have any big plans coming up in the near future? Rides, races? I think you were saying gravel.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Unbound again. We went. I went last year for the first time, and I did the 200. It was. It was it was really hard. I mean, it was by far the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than the 24-hour race in Borrego, harder than any of the 12-hour races. It was insanely hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished in 16 hours and 45 minutes. I also, part of the thing is my derailleur stopped working for a while, and I fell on it and it fixed it. So trying to climb with that was an issue. Of course, it was stuck in the 11 cog too, so it was just miserable. But so I really want to improve on my time this year, and so much of that depends on the weather and circumstances. But it was an amazing experience, and I would encourage anybody who's interested to go. They have shorter races too, and a longer race. I have no interest in doing the longer race. 200 miles was plenty for me. Gotcha. But I'm very excited to do it again.
Jessica, how about you?
Nothing set in stone yet, but I have a couple of 50-mile gravel races, no 200. I'm good with 50. I did a 50-mile gravel race not too long ago.
Get the pun there?
And 50-mile gravel race, I'm like, yeah. They also had 100, and when people were continuing on to do another 50, I was like very happy to be over. 50 was plenty. I think there's another one coming up in May that I'll probably jump in on, and I usually do a horrible 100. And
oh, good. I might come down and do that. I've done that the last few years.
Yeah, I did it last year. It's so fun. I really enjoy that. It's pretty, and it's nice to get a couple of hills here and there.
Yeah,
and then I don't know. I'm originally a triathlete, so
me too.
I haven't done one in years. I think my last I was at Chattanooga Worlds in. Was that 2017? I can't believe it was that long ago. But and I haven't done one since. I think I did a local one with my 14-year-old daughter.
That did you in?
What's that?
I said that did you in?
Yeah,
Chattanooga?
it did. Being with all those it's like the cream of the crop. They're all like amazing to look at. Like I was just like, I don't think I belong here, but whatever.
Oh,
but
you totally belong there.
It was
you
fun.
You would have gotten there if you didn't belong there.
True, but it was fun. The athletes were completely amazing. It was nice to be there, but after that I was done. I needed a break, so I took a break and I did like a small race with my daughter, and I haven't raced in triathlon since. So me and some friends have been talking, maybe Augusta 70.3 or something. Yeah. It's an easy. I haven't been swimming, so I'm trying to look for an easy swim.
Yeah, I gave that up too. I did Ironman Florida last November, first and last Ironman ever.
You're like,
I have no interest in ever doing another one.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because all my friends are like, "Oh, you're gonna go do another one." I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I did Whistler and I did Ironman Chattanooga, the full.
Yeah,
but
that's a lot of climbing.
Yeah, Whistler was a lot, and Chattanooga was a lot of climbing. And I did them like pretty much back to back. It was like 1 year, and then the following year I did the other. And it was funny because Whistler was like 40-degree weather, like actually maybe even colder. It was snowing, like it was the worst, right? And then the very next day it was like 80 degrees.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
So that was Whistler. And then the following year, we were like, okay, we got to do another one. That one was like such a mess. It was like hail, like it was like such a mess. Well, like we're doing another one, so we signed up for Chattanooga the next year, and then that was the extreme opposite.
I was gonna say that was like
110 degrees, and they had like the highest DNF rate because it was so hot. Luckily, I was from Florida, so I was used to the heat. So I like actually did fairly well on that one. So I went from one extreme to the other, but I'm done with full Ironmans also. I'm like, I have no desire.
It's the training is just so much.
Exactly.
You're spending, you know, all your time doing training. And so you can't go out and do as many fun rides. You can't, you know, like I love just being able to go out and do stuff with my friends. And unless you're training for the exact same race, you're not seeing your friends.
Right.
Exactly. So, and you know, you have other things going on, right? Like it's not just. I'm like, I mean, I have to work. I have kids. Like, have a family. It's not so easy. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Yeah, I'm not doing RAM training either. I'm looking at the comments.
No.
Oh, come on.
I could imagine doing a team RAM. I've done a couple team relays. I did Hoodoo 500 with Dan Rocco, and then I did a 4-person the RAM Texas Challenge with Carol, and then Cheryl Barrow and Dusty Dustin, and that was loads of fun. I mean, that actually was great. A 4-person 500. You don't have to, you just basically have to train for a century. And we had a blast. Thanks, Chris.
Well, if anybody would like in on the giveaway in a few minutes here, be sure to post if nothing else, say I'm from Gainesville, Florida, or wherever you might be from. And well, Mark, he just put a emoji in there, and that works fine.
There you go. That gets him entered.
That gets him entered in the contest, and we're getting ready to go here. You know, Jim, I love these shows where you and I have to do nothing.
Oh, I know. It's great. I'm just sitting here pushing buttons and listening.
Yeah,
he's checking emails.
There you go. Exactly. Watching TV.
I'm playing solitaire on this screen over here, actually.
He's watching Netflix.
There you go.
April, what's thoughts going through your mind there about all this? What are you going to do different next year?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Eat and sleep a lot better.
You'll do that when you're dead.
Right.
I mean,
Right,
just sleep
a little bit
more.
Yeah.
Not be surprised, and we won't change her bike the night before. Her whole fit
Right.
was changed.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Forgot
messed
about
her up
that.
big time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't ever change anything, right? Except when something went wrong with Doug's bike.
Doug's bike, and he rode mine. Yep.
That's hard. I rented a bike for Worlds in Almere, and that was a mistake.
Well, and the bad part, we both forgot. I've got a leg length difference, so I've got different length crank arms. And about 100 miles in, he was like, "Why is my hamstring hurting on this side?" It's like, ding. And he was doing the 12-hour. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be tough.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Maria is going to be on the show here in a couple of weeks, so just hang in there, folks. You'll get to hear from her, and that's one other person who's doing Raw. He'll be here at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Aunt Susie's out there.
Aunt Susie's here.
Yes.
It's Jim's aunt. It's my adopted aunt, and we're always glad to have her. If she wins, we'll give it to somebody else. We're not let Jimmy. That's Jim, by the way.
Using my old nickname. Had too many Jims in the family.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. This has been a great show. Let's do this giveaway.
Okay.
And see who wins the year's membership to the $10
Bike Club. Yep.
$10 Bicycle Club. Well, it's $10 because there's no ads.
Correct.
you won't have anybody try to change your politics, heal you of any diseases, show any pictures of kitties or dogs unless there's a bike in them.
There you go.
And
all great cyclists and people that want to help people, just like our
and what have you,
ultra cyclist groups.
And you get all that for $10 a year, and none of the nonsense. And we try to fulfill that here, although there was, well, as long as I'm involved, and I think Jim too, there's going to be some nonsense. But
yep.
Okay, let's roll that and see who.
All right, here we go.
Thinks they're going to win, and then at the last minute finds out they haven't. Yeah, you think, no, it's not Dusty. It's not
Joshua.
Great.
Congratulations, Joshua. And just send your info to winner@OhioRAAMShow.live. And we'll get the information, and you'll get an invite to the $10 Bike Club. Congratulations.
I'm glad Jimmy didn't win that. Well,
now I'm going to be stuck with Jimmy. Thanks, Aunt Susie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's, hey, ladies, this is the formula for a great show. Get 2 people on here. I was going to say women, but I think men are just as good. Almost. Not quite. Almost. But thank you for being with us, Carolyn and Jessica. You've made us have a great show tonight. I'm going to put this in our playlist for best of shows, Jim.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you get that honor added to it without any question.
Yep.
And thank all of you for watching and being with us.
And thanks, April, for being here. I know you were nervous.
Thank you, April.
Yeah.
And
hope we see you at Sebring next year.
You definitely will.
And I'll be back.
April, this didn't hurt one bit, did it?
No.
No. I've been doing this show 10 years now, and I've yet to sustain an injury doing the show. Take care, folks.
Yes, see you later. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Hang around for a couple minutes after we go off the air, will you? And yeah, good show. Congratulations, Aunt Susan.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Gregory Zuber, are you out there somewhere? Not there.
Not there.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.